what do we want to look at with striking today? We want to look at being comfortable so that our striking is effective. So comfortable mentally and comfortable physically. And if you can have the right amount of tension mentally and the right amount of tension physically, you'll be much better at receiving and giving strikes. You're going to work the tops of the shoulder area. Be careful not to hit the collarbone. So it's these muscles here. You give your friend a massage, it's these big shoulder muscles, that's where you're hitting. You're going to strike around here and send it through the body, and it's Roy's chance to loosen the hips actually, because the shoulder, where we carry a lot of psychological tension, makes the hips tense. When we're tensing our shoulders, it ends up in our hips. When I work with Roy to help him release tension, I don't want to be in an uncomfortable position trying to help him. I won't be able to. I need to be relaxed. And you want to strike in a way that allows him to move. So the arm goes very nicely that way, very nicely this way, not so nicely that way. So hit in a way that's very easy to move. Then when you work on the upper body, you can think about it like this. There's a line here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to go through that way. So again, he can move. Feel a little bit of tension there. Can you see how the upper body is kind of locked to the hips a little bit? So we're going to try and help much better. So even just being aware of it, Roy's already starting to fix himself. And it's big, so he sees it coming. It's not a sneaky tap. It's a big, honest, open movement that he can see from a long way away. And if you notice that the hips are locked, work on it. Spend some time to work on the hips. Not bad at all. And you can also push the hips, push at the back of the hips. When you take a strike, if your hips are stuck, that's basically where the energy will stop. It will stop inside of you. So, Roy, do you mind to hit me? It doesn't matter. If those hips don't move, very hard to take the strike. Think about the upper body, one piece, another piece, shoulder blades, chest, not in the middle, please. The idea is to create freedom inside of him. Psychologically, it's probably the most important thing we can do for ourselves in training is get comfortable with touching someone's face. It's not something we do every day. Find 2 nice comfortable places for your fist. And Roy's job is just to hold my fists and just deal with it without getting psychologically tense. And then nice and slowly, without rushing, find another 2 spots for your fists. Okay, and like that, work your way around the body. So you do 5 on the front, and then Roy's going to turn over. But when he turns over, I want to stay on you. So you just turn over. So let your partner get comfortable with holding your weight, and you gradually put your weight on top of it, not suddenly. And start breathing before you need it. If I let it in too much, that pressure is a little bit too much on the internal organs. But if I just use tension to try and keep it away, it's not sustainable. Out for the first couple of minutes, sure, no problem, but as time goes on, and it's also not useful now because it's stiff. So where's that point, and for each of you it'll be different, where you're as relaxed as you can be, but not to the point where it's too deep. Okay, and it'll be different for each of you, and it'll change over the years as your training changes. try having a much clearer picture of the result as you do it. So it feels like in your mind it's just, oh, I'm going to hit here. Maybe it's not, but that's what it feels like. Instead of, I'm going to move however there. It doesn't feel like you have that up here. You should have enough freedom and lightness in your hips that you can step easily. So what you don't want is your structure to become like this. Yeah, you can still work, of course you can. But it's hard now, because we're tense and we can't see as much. Because you relax here, you spread the impact. If we're stiff here, it stops in the hips and it's all stuck here. So it's not about strong, it's actually the opposite here, more relaxed. So if you can get that, relax the back of your legs a little bit, relax your hips, you'll stay very straight. And it'll make it so much easier when you return the fire. Part one is to rest your hand on your partner and look to see, is your shoulder in a funny shape? Is it down and relaxed? And would you do me the favor of walking away from me? Okay, this is what should happen. That's bad. Why is that bad? Why is that bad? Yeah, exactly, too much tension. You're going to push through your partner. So now it's different. The work we were doing before, you were giving your partner movement. Now you're pushing through them. Very, very simple. Is it a comfortable distance for you? And that's part of the exercise. If I'm out here, yeah, much more likely that my shoulder is going to come up. If it's a comfortable distance, very unlikely. If I'm too far away, this is going to happen. So that's why it's so important to understand your comfortable distance. Yeah.
Okay.
Try again. So yeah, make sure because I've got long arms, right?
Yeah.
So you might already be too far away. So check your distance. Relax and lower your center just a little bit. Try and keep it that way. And then give your partner a push. There's less tension here, stopping your arm from working. Don't make it any more complicated than it needs to be. Just relax more here, your arms will work in a heavier way. And I've just saved you a trip to Moscow. Basically, about 20% of my tension has gone just by this exercise. Now, whether I can keep it as we're working, that's something to work away at. But that's definitely part of what's going on for my development. When you work with guys at that level, especially guys, we carry a lot of tension here and it stops us from giving the best punches we can do. When the arm is working really good and really solid, after that, if you add on the body, even bigger. But if we understand the arm first and how just the arm, just the arm, nothing else, even on one leg. Even if someone is holding, it's just the arm. Check the feeling. So as it comes, the fist is made, and as it impacts, enough tension in the fist to keep it. So it's not this. Yeah! No, too much tension. You want as much tension as you need for the work. And we're not going to go so heavy or so hard. You're just letting it drop. So this was what we did just now. Now we just let it drop from here. And the other good thing about starting from here is you can see it coming, no surprise. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, impact. So it's less scary because, okay, nothing surprising. What's supposed to be. And then gradually shorten the distance until you just strike from here. But again, it's just the arm. Okay, so not twisting your body, just the arm. You can start light, just drop it into your partner. Then the same level, but still far away. And it's just a movement of the arm, so not moving the body. And then closer and closer until even from here. It's not the only strike, there are lots of strikes, but this is a very useful one, especially if you're very close to someone. Yeah, I mean if you just walk past. So you don't have to create a big movement. And especially if it's a very close situation, you don't have so much space. You want to hit the arm and watch what happens to the body. Okay, so it's just 3 times, but I want you to look very specifically at where to strike next. You should be looking ahead. So if I strike here, what do I expect to happen? Yeah, we get this. Where's my head? Good. Okay, so you just build one to the other. And you'll find if you can move in a relaxed way, you'll just find the opportunity without even trying too much. So because you're moving and because your hips are relaxed, it's not such a big deal. To start with, push. But when you receive those pushes, I want you to move in a way that you start to get ready. And you basically move their arm around and then you help them strike. Oh, that sounded good, looked good. How did it feel? Nice.